WithAJ. I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted in Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Yay,
Look at us. Another episode.
Yes.
The thing that she has bullied me into, but here we are.
You know, but you're having so much fun.
So much fun with you.
That didn't seem convincing. It didn't seem real, y'all. It didn't seem real.
It is real.
Yes.
This is fun.
Yes.
All right, so this is episode 24,
Yes,
and we're talking about different types of parenting styles.
Yes, that's a good one.
It is a good topic to me because I feel like a lot of parents, that's the hot topic of these days is how are we supposed to raise our children, and are we supposed to raise them differently than our parents raised us.
Right.
So it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot trying to figure it out because I ain't never been a parent before.
No, this is my first time here on earth. It's my first time being a parent.
I know, so if I mess up.
Right. And you know, I think the root of it is that when we, like the new generations, say we don't want to parent the same way that our parents do, they get offended as if we're saying what they did was wrong. We're not necessarily, some of it is we're saying it's wrong, but we're not necessarily outright just saying you're wrong. What we're saying is there is a different or better way we believe
could be done.
And so we're exploring those ways.
Right.
And you would think a parent or the older generation would be like, you know, that's beneficial because you want your kids to be better.
You want your kids to do better than you did.
Right. So why is that such a place of contention? Because it gets to the root of maybe pride and ego of, I didn't do anything wrong.
Because they feel like they raised you just perfectly
You came out fine. You're a doctor. Yeah, but I'm also on medications and see a therapist once a week. I mean, now granted, therapy doesn't mean that it's all the root of it. It doesn't mean it's not, you know, I know the trope is if you go to therapy, what did your mother do? You know, that kind of thing. So it's not necessarily
that at all.
Yes, but
it's a lot of other things that happen to you. Just like I've said, like my home life is not why I go to therapy.
That's right. It's after you left the house.
Life knocked me down after I left the house.
The hard knock life, you hear me?
Yeah, my parents love me.
Right.
I know that for a fact.
Okay. Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable for real is that my parents love me. They love us. They love their children, their grandchildren. They got great-grandchildren now. Loved.
That's right.
Yeah. I got a great niece. I got 2 great nieces and a great nephew.
Well, I can't say anything. I have 2 great nieces.
See?
On my,
out here.
You know, through marriage, but.
Old. No, mine ain't even through marriage.
I'm about to say, who is old? Who?
My sister.
Oh, okay. Huh? I thought you talking
with the
grandkids. Sorry, Miss Dr. Pepper. That's going to be her name.
That is her name.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, Miss Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So we got different parenting styles. So we were going to talk about, the 3 that I always hear about is authoritarian, authoritative, and permissive. The dog scared her, y'all.
No, the dog had me on alert. What he jumping for? What he jumping for?
Alert, always. Head on the swivel.
Yes.
But yeah, so again, authoritarian, authoritative, and permissive. And then one more that I've learned as we did the research is uninvolved.
Uninvolved.
And I hadn't really thought about that as being one. Yeah. But it is, because it also shapes children in a different way.
It does. Oh, I can feel the trauma rising
up. So authoritarian, okay? Authoritarian parents typically engage in a one-way mode of communication where they establish strict rules that the child is expected to follow without question or negotiation. Yes. These rules are rarely explained. Never explained is the thing. They never explain why.
Right.
And children are expected to meet high standards without making any mistakes.
Ooh.
Errors are often met with punishment, and they tend to be less. The parents tend to be less nurturing, maintaining high expectations with limited flexibility.
Yes, and this article says it puts a high premium on compliance and obedience.
Ooh, the thing I saw was like, it has high expectations and low warmth for the children. Low
that's
warmth.
A good way to say that. That's a good
so
way
you
to
understand.
Say
So each one has a thing like that.
Yeah, it said that this mentality often wants you to have a blind
obedience. Yeah. So I told you to go outside and take the trash out, and you say, well, why do I have to be the one that does it all the time when you got a whole brother that also lives here and could do it? Because I said so.
Well,
but then you might get smacked in the mouth for asking the question.
Well, and that's why I say I have to
the punishment is coming.
I have to say I am guilty. We went on family vacation, and that kind of a situation rose up, but not necessarily a bad situation. It was a great parenting experience for me, and it was eye-opening. My husband spoke, said, because we're your parents, and we're not asking you to blindly obey us, but we are asking you to respect us the same way we respect you. And so that
was good.
It is good. And so, but from immature mind, still being young, it sounds like blind obedience.
Right.
And so
because you want a reason for everything.
Yes, and it also gives this perception. I mean, it also gives this reason of, he said it perfectly. as someone who's mature, I can understand it. But as someone who's immature and still lacking,
Yeah, brain's still developing.
brain still developing is blind obedience. And so it's all about perception on even how you're parenting as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that sometimes with authoritarian parenting, yes, I always say I'm wrong, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta, because they sound so close together.
They
But
do.
authoritarian parenting, you wonder why those kids grow up and then don't know how to make any decisions for themselves that haven't
Right.
already been made for them.
Yeah.
So if I never tell you the reason behind, I'm not saying you got to sit here and nitpick every single decision I make. Like I'm
Right.
saying, hey, put your shoes on. Why you put my shoes on? Like, nah, bro, you know we're leaving the house, go put your shoes on.
Right,
Okay?
right.
But like in general, when I tell you to do things a certain way in the kitchen, this is why we cook this the way we cook it.
Right.
Or this is why you don't, I just say, don't put hot water on the meat when you're getting ready to
Yeah.
thaw it out. Don't
Yeah.
put hot water on it. But I never tell you that it's because it creates bacteria
Bacteria,
and you
right,
can get sick. I
right.
never explain that to you.
Right, and it's because there's this sense in adults' minds or parents' minds that they don't have to explain themselves.
That you don't have to explain yourself. So then
Right.
I'm now an adult.
Yeah.
And that does not happen to me. My mama told me why.
Yeah.
But now I'm an adult and I go in my kitchen and I'm like, but the hot water will make it faster. Why don't I just use hot water?
Right.
Because I have no sense of why shouldn't I do such?
Right, and I will say, even from my own personal experience, that early on, because I was so young and I was immature, I didn't have that understanding of explaining. It was do what I told you to do because I said to do it, despite what you see me do.
Right.
Do as I'm told.
Do as I told, as I say, not as I do.
Right, and so early on, and so that was a terrible foundation for me, and then going back trying to break those habits in my own self I'll say currently is still extremely hard, because there is this thing in my mind of like, I still am your parent. And my thought, I said this to my daughter this past week, I respect you, so I expect you to respect me. I give you the same energy you give me. Now, should you? Probably not as a parent. But if you are hostile towards me, I am then not intentionally trying to be hostile, but as your voice raises, my voice raises.
Yeah.
As your behavior and tone change, my behavior and tone change. And I didn't even notice it beforehand. Of course, when I was younger, and I noticed it more, but it's very few and far between
Right.
that I actually notice it in the moment. And so
And that's the hard part.
That is the hard part in the moment of that. And so I can say that I have operated in this parenting style greatly, and it is detrimental to the relationship of a parent and a child. And it's something that I'm still learning, but trying to go from not ever explaining myself to explaining myself, because my husband,
hard.
It is extremely hard. My husband is one of those that feels he's not going to explain himself, but he will give context, and that's different. He's not explaining himself because he's an adult. You should respect his decision to know that he has your best interest at heart.
Right.
But he also offers you a sense of respect. And then I pointed out to her is that I can give you a command that is chastising you.
Okay.
And my husband can do the same, and she'll receive his, but she won't receive mine. And I was like, why is that? And it's because of that foundation, that terrible foundation that I've laid, that I've
Right.
been working to break. It's still perceived in her mind. So immediately there's a trauma response. And so
Yeah.
and so she remembers it, where her heart remembers it, her heart forgets for him. And
Because he built the foundation of
he's built the foundation of explaining, and I haven't.
authoritative parenting.
That's right. So it is possible to go back and try to correct your mistakes, but it is hard, and does take patience. Great learning experience.
It is a great learning
Yeah, it
experience.
is.
This one also was saying that children that are raised by authoritarian parents often exhibit they're well behaved. So they don't talk back. They don't do anything they're not supposed to do. Their whole idea is that they want to please you, the
Right.
adult, at all times.
Right.
But they also leads to higher levels of aggression. They could be shy, socially inept, and they have, like I just said, difficulty making their own decisions.
Right. Now I will say that she's not that extreme, and
No,
that's
because
probably
you weren't that extreme.
Yeah, y'all know I wasn't that extreme. My husband, his imprint on her, thank the Lord, is more powerful than mine, and so a lot of times, it's just been a great balance for that.
Right.
So so she's not completely that way, but she's weighing, am I going to disappoint mom? And I'm like, that's terrible. And then also, you're aware of this, and she makes a joke about this all the time, about how I planned like her high school, college.
Oh yeah, she planned it. Yeah, tell them how you planned all this stuff out for her.
So early on, because I didn't have like an influence in my life that helped me plan what I wanted to do after high school, I was very adamant that I wanted to make sure that I was like very present in my child's life when it came to helping her decide her future. And so from middle school on, I was like, okay, these are the colleges that
Don't look at me, talk to them. I know the story.
These are the colleges that I think will be great. These are the extracurriculars that I feel like she needs to do. This is the path. I laid out the plan, and anybody that knows me know that I'm very type A. And so I was like, da-da-da-da-da. And she followed that. She did everything that I asked her to do. She took extra courses, did dual enrollment.
Question. Did she ever question why you chose those things for her?
No.
Ever question why the extracurriculars, why the dual, or did she just say yes, ma'am, and went on about it?
She just said yes, ma'am. She went on about it. And I think the reason why is because one of the extracurriculars that I had her do was play basketball. She did not want to do it. And I was like, yeah, you need to do it because you need to kind of get out of your shell and blah, blah, blah. She did. She hated it when she first done it. Loved it. I mean, probably halfway into the first season. Loved it. So I think that built a sense of, oh, mom's right. And it works out for my good.
Uh-huh.
So she never questioned it after that. Now, when she got in college, was there something that she questioned? Yes. Was there some growing pains? Yes, because now she was an adult with her own mind, will, and emotions, and I had to take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard? Yes.
Ooh.
Was it hard?
Loud in this mic, but yeah, that was hard for her.
Yeah, that was hard. But I planned these things out for her, and she followed them, and she did it. And some of it she enjoyed, some of it she didn't, but she never questioned me in the process of doing that. And of course, when she got to college, it was a little bit hard for her. However, not college, but just the experience of I'm becoming into my own
all
thought.
on my own. What do I think? What do
I
I feel?
Right. But also something that I did that I think I don't know if a lot of parents do is that I was consistent about telling her, I want you to be successful in college. So whatever that means I need to do for you, I'll do. That included if she had papers, tests, whatever being on the phone with her while she done it. I didn't have to say anything. Just me being there. That's it. Just be like me physically being there. It wasn't possible, but me being on the phone with her. Mm-hmm. I did that. Late nights, middle of the day. I'm asleep. Mama, what you doing? Yep, I'm up. It didn't matter. I did those things. And I also visited her once a month while she was in college. And if she was on the phone and she sounded like she was having a hard time, I was in the car already driving.
Now, you know what? Those things, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. If what I needed was the comfort of my mother
right,
while I was doing certain things,
right,
I would have called and said, she would have sat on the phone with me too.
Right. Well, I mean, I did feel bad at first because I'm like, oh, this is such a huge dependency. But she wasn't necessarily dependent on me as much as she was like, I'm faltering and I just need my parent.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to be present for that. And during that process, she was able to figure out who she is. And she still is because, she's young. But she was able to be like, okay, you know what, this worked out. Now, at the end, she graduated from college a year early because of the plan that we laid out. The plan that I laid out. She did graduate from a year early and she was able to take that break. She didn't take a gap year because I was like, I felt momentum continued. Did I say that right?
Momentum.
Momentum
you
continued.
Got it right.
Yay! I felt like if that continued, then she would go ahead and push through. Was she exhausted by the end of it? Yes. But was she satisfied that she could now take a break and didn't have to focus on her studies? Absolutely. But that also created the issue of now what do I do? Because I was like,
because she's like, I'm not, now tell me how it's supposed to work. If somebody says to me, this is the plan for your life up until you turn about 21. After that, you got to come up with your own plan.
Yeah.
I don't know how to plan.
It's stupid. It's dumb.
You didn't help me come up with the plan.
Right.
You didn't show me how to do the plan. You did the plan. And
right.
I just said, okay, cool. Now you like, okay, now it's up to you. What you mean?
I did, but I will say that the last year, I was helping her implement, like trying to break that of my mom telling me what to do.
It's too late.
It was extremely too late because she was like,
you the planner.
You the planner.
Keep planning.
The last year, she had an understanding of I want to do things my way. I don't want to have your impression upon me. Let me figure it out. I'm grown. I said, okay. So I took my hands off of it. I stepped back, which was extremely hard for me, by the way.
It was. I know. I was here.
Yes, you were here. And I called her plenty of times, but I did it. And during that year, she said it was extremely hard in terms of not having my support. She did get through it fabulously, if I might say so myself. However, she didn't follow through with any plan for that year. And so afterwards, she was going to go study abroad after she graduated. But because she didn't plan, she didn't save, she didn't do any of the things she needed to do, when she finished, she was like, I didn't do any of those things. And it didn't hit her right away. It hit her like a month after. And she was like, wait a minute.
Wait just a minute here.
Too much idle time. What is going on? Mm-hmm. And I brought it up to her, and she was like, you right. Came to me a month ago, and she was like, I wish you were your old self. That is a first.
She wished you had just planned it out and told her what to do.
Yes, she wished I would have been, I can't remember the exact wording or phrase that she used, but disciplined. I would have made her be disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I would have
Kept her on track.
Enforced those things so that she would already be doing the things that she wanted to do.
She wanted to do.
And
now she's got to wait.
She's got to wait. But I told her all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. All those things will work out. So where we are may not necessarily be where we want to be, but it's exactly where God has us in this moment. So what do we need to do differently? Something that I pointed out to her was that her being home has caused her to have a close relationship with the Lord. Mm-hmm. It has caused her to learn independence on her own with me being there. So she still has a sense of security without being just on her own. And there's things that she's learning learning about herself that I don't believe she would have if she was also struggling while trying to figure out who she is on her own. So to say all of that is that I started late. I mean, I created a terrible foundation. Mm-hmm. I started late in trying to teach her how to do it the proper way, but that it is working out because she and I both are learning. And it's also going to be beneficial for the next step of her sister's, education.
So now it feels like we got off the point. But the point was, for authoritarian parenting, it's not always about just getting whooped and punished.
That's right.
That's a big part. That's a big section of authoritarian parenting is where the kid messes up and they get punished. They're not disciplined. They are punished. They are hit, in any kind of way. But another thing is just not telling your kids how to do things. Yes. So making decisions for them and never giving them the why behind the what. Right. So that's one thing that she did, and that she's saying that maybe I should have done that differently, and that they are working that out now, and that she's going to be better for it.
I'm going to be better for it.
You are.
That's right.
So the other one, authoritative parenting. Now, this is, I don't want to call it the gold standard, but it's the one with it's got high expectations for the child, but also high warmth, which is you want both to be high.
Yes, yes.
And children tend to turn out better. But let me read this real fast. Authoritative parenting is characterized by a close, nurturing relationship between parents and children. Parents set clear expectations and guidelines and explain the reasoning behind their disciplinary actions. They use disciplinary methods as a supportive tool rather than as punishment. The children are encouraged to have input in setting goals and expectations, which fosters open, frequent, and appropriate communication between parent and child. Now, just because the child is involved, the parent is still the ultimate decision maker.
That's right.
So while you take your kids' things into account, you might be like, okay, well, listen, little Johnny, we might do that next time. Yeah. But right now, this is what we have to do. But I appreciate your input. Right. So children feel like they're a part of the family. They get the respect. Yeah. And it's not, I'm about to say that's the key. They are respectful. They are respectful, open to input, and are warm and caring in their approach. Yes. Yes. High expectations and high warmth. I expect you to follow the rules. I expect you to follow, the boundaries that are set around here, the standards that we have for our home. But I also expect you to be able to be independent and understand that you need to be able to do age-appropriate tasks. Oh, yeah, that is correct. So with authoritarian parenting, the strict one, you might be having kids do stuff that's not age-appropriate. Yeah. You want your 5-year-old to be in here washing these glass dishes. And if they break one, they in timeout for the rest of the day. They're getting punished. They're getting punished for something that they didn't even ask to be a part of. They didn't ask to be part of, and they shouldn't be able to do right now. Right. So, and authoritative says that they avoid threats, like you said, and use positive reinforcement whenever possible. Right. Great. So whenever my kid is like, oh, Mom, look at, I did this, or even small stuff, because people, I guess, feel like you shouldn't praise people for doing the things they're supposed to do. But how am I supposed to know at 7 years old that I'm supposed to be doing this? Yes. So Jackson puts his bowl in the sink. He actually rinses it out. Thank you for doing that, Jackson. Right. He don't get a cookie, but I'm like, I appreciate you doing that. Or like last night, I thought he didn't turn off the light because he hardly ever, I'm not going to say never, but he hardly ever turns off the light in the bathroom when he walks out of it. Every single day. That's the same equal of close my door, quit air conditioning outside. Quit air conditioning outside. Everybody in the neighborhood getting my air. Or when I was younger and it was storming, we had to cut all the lights out and sit in the living room and be quiet. Right. What do me being silent? What do me? God was talking. Girl, sit down. So he rarely cuts off the light. So last night I was like, I said, go cut the light off in the bathroom. Like, I didn't even look. And he was like, I did. And I'm like, did you? He's like, you can go look. I said, all right, I believe you. And I was like, well, thank you for cutting off the light, son. Like, I appreciate that because he just forgets every day. I'm not going to beat him for that. It went to rarely to every day. every day. There might be a time during the day that he remembers, but every day he gonna not cut that light off.
At some point during the 24 hours.
Yep, if he goes to the bathroom 4 times, he might cut it off once. Because that was at the end of the day.
That's the end of the day.
But yeah, so authoritative parents tend to bring their children into the fold more, and they help them learn skills, help them to be more independent, but not so that they can take care of themselves and you be hands off, but just so that they have the life skills they need to be on their own.
Yes.
So you also help them make decisions.
Yeah.
You involve them in decision making. You say, hey, well, why do you think that?
Yeah.
Like, you are also curious.
Yes, I about to say, this says it's a healthier styles with the best future outcomes for family members because of the respect and the openness and the explanation that is given.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
It's like you come out to be a great individual, like a great adult.
You do come out to be a great adult because you high expectations, high warmth.
That's right.
You have the nurturing and somebody saying, hey, talk about that. Tell me about your feelings. Tell me all about these things. But also, hey, did you turn that light off?
That's why we go to therapy. That's why we go to therapy. Because that's what
Yes.
it is. So what I hear you say, what I
heard you say, Jackson, was.
Yes.
Yes. And then I think I talked about this, but I tried to get the little one to stop whining and use his words. And so one day I came out and he was talking about, I'm frustrated. I was like, oh, why are you frustrated?
He is such a Disney character.
He is. And the other day he was talking about somebody was impossible to play with. Impossible. And I was like.
And how old is he again?
He just turned 5.
He's impossible.
Impossible to play with because they just take the toys. And I'm like, nobody's impossible, buddy. Like, maybe we just need to figure something else out.
Look, he's using it in the right context. Kudos.
He is. Maybe we just need to figure something else out. But even naming emotions, because authoritarian parents don't do that. Authoritative parents do. You name your emotions and you give them a healthy way to express their emotions. You got a kid that hits and spits. Now, we got to figure that out, bro.
Little Timmy need to be sat down somewhere with a belt. Okay, let's not. Maybe not.
What we just say?
You right. You right. He hitting and spitting. That's a belt. That's a belt infraction.
Infraction.
Yeah, that's.
Now, does it depend on how old little Timmy is?
Yeah, it does depend on how old little Timmy is.
Little Timmy 1.5.
Little Timmy won't get a belt then.
Little Timmy don't understand yet that he shouldn't be doing this. But you have to give. The one thing I did realize is that you can't just keep telling the kid no.
Yeah.
You can say no, of course, but you also need to give them an alternative because sometimes they don't know what the extra, like the other thing is they should be able to do.
You have to give them.
Don't jump on my couch, but you can sit on it.
Yeah.
If you would like to jump, you can jump on the floor.
Right.
Don't lay all over my couch when everybody here because you don't have anywhere. Other people don't have anywhere to sit.
Right.
I can put a blanket on the floor if you like to lay on it.
I will say that I definitely have noticed me doing that more with my second kid than I did with my first kid.
Right. Because you've learned.
Because I've learned, and that is probably why she is a little bit more well-rounded. But she also has
a feeler.
Yeah, she's a feeler, which is very difficult for me. You know,
you are not a feeler.
I'm not a feeler. I'm not a very loving person. I'm not very in terms of hugging and kissing, and she is very much that. And so sometimes I have to watch like my reaction to her doing things, and I've explained it to her that it's not you, it's mommy needing, it's mommy that's broken and need to be fixed. I don't say that exact phrase, but I'll say this is.
Because you're not broken.
I'm not broken, but I will say this is an emotion or an experience that mom is working on because she said, "Oh, I know because you didn't get hugged or kissed." So we talked about her being
exactly. So she knows she has a reason, and she gives you the grace that you need,
right?
Because you gave her a reason for the thing for the less lovingness of yourself.
Yes, and she goes behind and she'll say, "But that's why I'm hugging you."
So you can learn.
She's like, I am correcting your bad behavior. I told y'all in episode 20 that I said, I don't know if I'm raising her or she raising me. Who knows?
Who knows at this point?
Yes.
We're doing the best we can.
But that is such a healthier style of parenting.
It is a healthier style. So then we have, I didn't tell you that these people tend to grow up and they excel academically and they perform well in school.
Yeah.
They're socially appropriate. Because social awareness and social ineptitude and stuff, boy, it's hard out here.
It's hard out here right now.
But authoritative parenting teaches social awareness.
Yes, as we are in the social media age and we're on social media, it is hard. That awareness is just about gone.
Yeah, people are in their phones and not out with people very often.
They're not very present.
Not very present.
Which I will, this is a side note, first of the episode.
You get one.
Yes. Well, no. Okay.
Yeah.
It is hard in this trying to be a content creator journey, which I have been enjoying, But it is hard because I am built with that respecting other people's space. And when you're being a content creator, you don't necessarily, not that you're disrespecting their space, but you are in your own space. And so you're not necessarily considering everything.
Right.
And being someone that has been
considered everything
all the time, it's like, oh, I'm in the way. I don't want to be loud.
Oh,
I'm
I can't
disrupting
film
people.
over here. Oh, I can't put my tripod there.
Oh, what if I have these people in the background, or giving a preface of, I'll blur out your face, or I do this so people feel comfortable in your presence. But I will say, when I was on vacation and I was filming, it was normal because, of course, that was a tourist town. But they were
everybody was filming everything.
They were filming everything, and everybody was like in the camera. They was like, "Please get my good side. Give us a great review." I'm like, I'm not doing reviews. I'm trying to look at.
And why not?
Why not? Well, because I don't know how to be a content creator. But I will say that that's part of that. Just being aware. That social awareness is just so in my head, and I have to tell myself, this is okay. You're not in anybody's way. You're not impeding their whatever. You're going to respect their privacy as much as you can.
Right. I'm not going to ask you your name and where you live.
Yeah,
I'm
not asking
put
you
it on
that.
camera.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not a hacker.
You could barely use it. Anyway, we're going to move
You're
on.
right. I'm over.
Permissive parenting.
Yeah.
So permissive parents are typically warm and nurturing, often holding minimal expectations for their children. High warmth, low expectations.
Yeah.
Okay, back to that. They impose few rules and maintain open communication, allowing their children to navigate situations independently. This lack of expectation usually leads to infrequent disciplinary actions, as permissive parents often take on a more friend-like role than that of a traditional authority figure.
Are we talking about hippies here?
I don't think so. I think even a hippie has some sort of rules.
I don't know. It makes me think of the episode, television show, The Blackish, where Bo's parents were, her parents were, kind of hippies like.
Yeah.
And that
on that show, they do portray them like they don't really have any kind of rules. Or
right. Now, when they did the prequel to that, they showed, the reasoning behind it. Mixed-ish.
Woo.
Words.
Yep.
But yes, it reminds me of that show because they were very much like, so that kind of bled over into Bo's parenting style. And she was a little bit better, but it was because Dre was like, no.
Yeah, because he was authoritarian in the way that he grew up.
Yeah,
she was permissive in the way she grew up.
Right, and that was an interesting mix to watch.
It was. That was a funny show.
Yeah.
So limited rules can lead children to develop unhealthy eating habits, particularly regarding snacks. Because you're not telling them when to eat. You're not giving them like an authoritative parent will. You're not giving them this is how much you should eat.
Right.
Let's talk about carbs, fats, proteins.
Right.
Like all the things. They just say, I'm going to go eat some chips. And they don't even tell you about it because you don't give them any kind of rules on such.
Yeah, man, it's summertime. Eat what you want, get out of my way. That's what most people are saying. I'm not saying that.
I was like, dang.
No, I'm not saying that. My kids, I've already said this many times before, everybody in my house have their own zone. When we want to be in each other's zone, we go, we stay for a couple seconds and go on.
And then go on. So these children enjoy considerable freedom, making decisions about their bedtime, homework, and screen time on computers and televisions. Yeah. So that kind of extensive freedom can foster negative habits.
Yeah.
Because your parents are giving you very little guidance.
That's the person you work with that they finish their assignments at the very last. It's probably always got some errors. You end up having to pick up the slack for them.
Yeah.
I have worked with people like that, and we have had a lot of confrontations inside of HR.
Yep. Permissive parenting leads to people who don't understand that there are rules and there are boundaries and places that they go. Yeah,
I've had a lot of words that have been said to a lot of people that have grown up in those types of households. They figured it out real quick, like with me.
Can't keep doing this.
You can't keep doing this.
Yes, but these people, they also, I would imagine, don't do well with like self-regulation. So like they don't have self-control.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to regulate their emotions when they are. So their emotional IQ is low.
Yes.
Emotional quotient, I think is what they call it. Yeah.
EQ is very low
because nobody's taught them how to do such. Now, I will say that permissive parenting often gets mixed up with authoritative parenting.
Yeah.
Because people feel like because you're explaining things to your children that they're running over you. Yeah. And that's not true.
That's not true.
They assume that you're supposed to go with the because I said so with your children.
Yeah.
And because you gave them a reason of, we're not eating ice cream today. And you told them, they said why, and you gave them a reason. You ain't got to explain yourself to them. Don't let that kid run over you. Right. But that's not true. Like you're giving your child a reason. Hey, we had sugar earlier. We had a good bit of sugar earlier today, right. And it's just not time for ice cream today. We can try another day when we've had less. Yeah, my number one go-to response with that is because you can't have it. You already know, and I'm not saying like because I said so. I mean in the sense of your body doesn't digest it. So don't eat it. And let that go.
And then what you say about that content creator? I'm gonna see for myself.
Right, Elena did that. My stepdaughter did that for a while.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, if you choose to keep eating multiple pieces of pizza and ice cream and doing all the things, do not call me when you're sitting on the
Going through it.
going through. I'm not coming anymore because at first when we didn't know what the problem was, whenever
Yeah.
she was in there, I'd be in there with her, sitting in the bathroom, giving her pep talk. We take a walk outside to try to help her out. I
Right.
do all these things, and I was like, now we figured out you had a whole quesadilla and then you were on the toilet. You ate 3 pieces of pizza and then you were like, now
Right.
I think we understand that you probably shouldn't do that. So if
Right.
you continue to do that on your own, I'm not coming. So she did that one time. I did not come. I followed through on my boundary that I
Yeah.
was not coming to the bathroom with her.
Right.
She didn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
She was like, maybe I'll eat something, like I'll eat some fruit or something to go with the pizza so I feel full.
I wish that
Sounds
worked.
like a great plan.
I wish that worked with one of my kids, but we be
Going through it.
man.
Just doing it anyway.
We both of us rebellious. That's what it is. We're both rebellious.
Rebellious, yeah.
But me and my dad went out. He said, "What are you taking?" I was like, "Pills so I can eat the food we eat."
At least you do that much.
Yeah, I'll do that.
At least you try to help yourself out.
Yeah, I try to help
But
myself
yeah,
out.
so, and I will say that I didn't say this earlier, but authoritative parenting is also what people will call gentle parenting or
Yeah.
conscious parenting.
Yeah, and we discussed that in
Some other episode.
some other episode.
Yeah, but people will, that's the same type of thing. And I think I just like calling it gentle parenting, it feels like you're calling it permissive parenting.
Yeah.
But it's not. It really is just that I'm teaching you how to be a person
Yeah.
and not just letting you run amok or just telling you that you have to do everything because I said so.
Right. Oh, we did mention it in episode 20 because I remember I remarked that we use gentle parenting in the wrong context, in the sense that gentle parenting also includes discipline, but it's the way you speak, how you speak, your
Discipline.
tone. You bring yourself down on their level.
Oh yeah, because we're talking about how you gentle parent me.
Yeah. I am not agreeing to that.
Don't agree. That's fine. I don't care. The last one, y'all, then we're going to go. Uninvolved parenting.
Yes.
Uninvolved parenting grants children a high degree of freedom as these parents typically take a hands-off approach. So we got low expectations and low wants. Ain't nothing high
they just
about
winging
these
it.
people. They just
Winging it.
out here. Now, they did mention, like, single parents. And I was like, wait a minute, what you mean? And it was really on the side of not that they meant to be uninvolved or neglectful, but that they're out here working multiple
the priorities,
jobs.
yeah.
Yeah, so you out here working 2 jobs during the day and then going to another one at night. Your kid is pretty much on their own and
Right.
you are uninvolved, but it's not intentional uninvolvement.
Latchkey, as we discussed.
Yeah, so it's not intentional and you're
Right.
not doing it on purpose. But there are people out here who just be like, all right, there's food in it. Like you are providing their basic needs, but you're not attempting to
Right.
give them anything else.
Yeah, you're disengaged and unavailable.
Right, so they become hyper independent very early.
Yeah.
Sounds like you might know something about this.
I absolutely know
they
something
become
about it.
hyper independent and
Yeah.
self-sufficient really early, but they also have issues with their social relationships and awareness and things like that because they didn't have that.
Yeah.
They didn't have maybe like friends because I mean, you're gonna ask your mama if your friend can come over, or you're just gonna bring them over. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you probably either you decided you was gonna make some rules for yourself, like
Yeah.
what your mama might have said before she left, don't let nobody in.
Right.
And you like, okay, well, it's the only rule I got. I'm gonna just follow it. So now
Right.
you don't talk to people on a regular basis,
Right.
and you don't get to go to parties, you don't get to go to extracurriculars because your mama, your parents either decided not to or couldn't afford to send you.
Right.
So now you're missing out on a lot of things that help grow your social awareness and your social circle.
Yeah. I will say from my own personal experience, some of those things, I understand them because I've seen other people experience them. But for me, because I'm a thinker and I'm always in my mind. And so that would cause me to be like, okay, well, if she said don't open the door, I need to be clear about who to open the door to and who not to open the door. So yeah, a stranger I don't know, somebody that I might not feel comfortable with, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to open it. And so also the other thing is, I didn't follow those. I followed those rules in the house, but not outside of the house. Meaning, other people I engaged with well because I was able to, I want to say mimic, because I craved, because you were disengaged and you were unavailable and I didn't have anybody, did get connected with someone. I made it a point to be like, okay, how do they operate? How do they function?
Yeah.
So I did pick up social cues for me. So I think that was different for me just because of the way, who I am, like my mind.
Right.
You know, and I
figured that out.
Right, I figured that out on my own.
Yeah.
In survival mode, so you figure out the rules of survival. Right. It says they coexist and cohabitate, but display little interest or support for each other.
Right.
Now, that's probably why unintentionally everybody in my household is in their own zone, like I mentioned earlier. Because it's like we cohabitate and we coexist, but I didn't interact with the people in my household
All day, every day.
all day, every day. You know what I mean? Sometimes it was only me and my grandmother.
Yeah.
And so my grandmother would be at church 7 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All the days.
All the days. And so it was just me. So then it became, okay, create your own routine. I think I've mentioned this in the episode before. Maybe I haven't. But this is great little Anyway, I was 14, and we mentioned in another episode that I was in alternative school.
Yes.
Yes, and then I got kicked out of alternative school.
How you kicked out of alternative school?
Because you are a delinquent. That's how you get kicked out. So, situation happened at school where I threw a desk at the principal. I flipped his desk over in the principal's office, which led me to get arrested and sent to juvenile detention. Letting all of it out.
Listen, all this was real expensive. Don't flip the table.
Yeah.
Don't flip the table in here, okay?
My emotions are more regulated now.
Woo.
But going into the detention center and that whole disengaged and unavailable, I was there anywhere from, I can't remember, somewhere from 2 weeks to a month, but it was an extended period of time. And nobody knew I was missing. Because my older brother was out the house. My brother that was a year older than me was not there. And, of course, my mom wasn't present. It was just my grandmother, and she was
Nobody
in church.
knew you got arrested and sent to juvie?
Nobody knew I was there. And I was in there the entire time. And the way that I got out is my best friend, her dad was a paralegal or something. He worked for the court. I can't remember exactly what he was. He came to the courthouse, and I was at the courthouse sitting out because the caseworker was there, and they were finna put me in a group home because they had been trying to reach my grandmother because she was the only guardian at the time. Couldn't get in touch with her. I know this is a long story, but anyway. And he came in and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I told him, and he was like, "Wait a minute." He went in there, talked to the officials, and they came out. The caseworker signed the paperwork or whatever. Signed the paperwork. Now, do they do this now? Probably not. This is how kids go missing. But he signed the paperwork. I got in his truck. He took me to the house, dropped me off, and said, "You know, we up the hill. Like, basically, you need us, we up here." Walked in the house. First thing my grandma said was, "Could you go in there and fix me something to eat?" It was like, "Fix me something to eat." And I was like, "Yep." Went there, fixed something to eat, went on about my business. Nobody ever thought anything about this. Nobody even know about this.
Wild.
That is wild. And
My parents, absolutely not.
No, it's true. It's true. That's a lot of trauma. This explains a lot about me, if you know me. But I wish these stories were fake.
I wish they were made up.
I wish they was made up.
Your little 14-year-old self.
So, you know, what I say to myself is the fact that I'm even alive and a sound mind.
Hallelujah.
All glory to the Most High.
All glory to God.
All glory to God. Because He was by my side.
At all times.
So them 7 days,
even in juvie.
Right. Them 7 days, my grandma, she might have been praying for me. We gonna say that's what she was doing. We'll say. So needless to say, the
having been an
uninvolved parent.
Uninvolved parent. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I prefer you be permissive before you be uninvolved.
Don't do it.
Because that's terrible. To not know that your person is gone.
Yeah. I was gone.
Boy, okay. I'm sorry.
I have lived a dozen lives.
You've lived some rough dozen lives.
And whenever I get the gumption.
11 of them been a lot.
11 to give me the gumption to write a book, and it's going to be a bestseller.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
Names have been changed for...
No names will be changed.
Oh.
And there will be probably people cut me off. And I don't even connect to nobody.
Okay.
This has been a great episode so far.
Episode, child.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Episode 24.
Types of parenting styles. Don't be uninvolved.
Don't be uninvolved. If we've learned anything from this episode,
just please know that your child went to juvie.
Know where they are. You remember it was that thing at the end of on the screen that come up. Do you know where your kids are?
Do you know where your kids are? Yeah.
No.
They did not.
They had to create a PSA because they didn't know where their kids were.
They had no idea.
The government was like, let's step in. Anyway, episode 24, different parenting styles.
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.